evil Mr. Cobra Khan has you under my power. I, Stratos, will obey.
He-Man, Stratos, and Cobra Khan each sold separate.
What's up, Yesterland fans? I'm Neal, and on today's episode of The Toys That Made Sense, we're going over Mattel Creations' Snake Men release of, that's right, Camo Khan. I got Camo Khan in hand. We're going to be going over him here in a few minutes. I was very fortunate to pick this guy up off of eBay. Unfortunately, I didn't get him in the first release when Mattel Creations released him here a few weeks ago. I missed out on it, but I found a guy on eBay selling him for a pretty decent price. And yeah, I knew I had to jump on it and get it as soon as he came out. So guys, sit back, grab your favorite beverage and snack, and I'll see you in a few minutes. All right, guys, here we go. I've got Camo Khan in studio and out of package. And I know you're probably wondering, why did you do that, Neal? You're such a mint on card collector kind of guy when it comes to your origin stuff. But at the end of the day, you can actually break this guy down, pull him out, and for the most part, put him back together and stick him back in that box if you really, really absolutely had to. But I know the majority of you guys are going to open them up and display them. For my purposes in this video, I wanted to make sure I can really get into them, and so you, the fan and the collector, can see what you're getting, or if you even want to invest in getting him. So yeah, without further ado, let's go into it. So as you can see, we get this sliding blister bubble pack that card there in the back will slide behind, and it makes that typical, you know, Masters of the Universe card. I do have kind of a flaw with this. Again, it comes down to quality control. I get it, they're putting these stickers on really fast, but unfortunately mine's a little crooked. I know I sound a little anal about this and a little, you know, overzealous about it, but again, when you're paying the price for a premium character, you would think they would take a little bit more quality control into placing those stickers or those graphics on there. But it's not a deal breaker, it's just a little slanted, and for display purposes, I don't know, it just looks like, I don't know. Anyways, it just looks like they just didn't take the care that they needed to. Excuse me. Moving on into the box, the shipper box that it comes in. So now it's the typical brown box. As you can see, we get the black Snake Man graphic there. We get Masters of the Universe, Adult Collector down on the bottom, Mattel insignia, nothing on the side. And then we get the drawing here of Camo Khan on the back. And then we get a little passage here that says, the Snake Men, the dreaded Snake Men have arisen from the darkest depths of Snake Mountain to join forces with Skeletor and its evil warriors. King Hiss and his repulsive reptiles have vowed to destroy He-Man and his heroic warriors, all well as the evil horde with Eternia fall to the slithering swarm. Look for the serpent symbol on the Snake Men. So that's just a quick little passage on him. And that's about it. And then you get the legal mumble jumble and the barcode in the back. Now moving into the card, this is where we get into some really, 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 really cool stuff. Get the traditional card here. It appears that mine was possibly pulled out of the package already from the individual who sold it to me. I don't care about it. It almost looks like I got a little bit of wearing or maybe a little bit of oil on here, but not a deal breaker. Masters of the Universe, Camo Khan, evil camouflage master of the diabolical snakes, modern retro posing. And then we get those beautiful image of those rocks, you know, blowing out. And then we get that beautiful graphic of the snake design there on the top. Loving it. And it clearly says right here in the top right hand corner, adult collector. This is not one of those toys that, you know, I'm not saying you can't let your children play with it, but it is definitely, for the price, it's one of these collector pieces. So you opened up and we get this awesome, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful artwork of Masters of the Universe. And again, I can already tell it has been opened because we got a little bit of creasing here on the card. Not a deal breaker, but beautiful graphic. We see a lot of stuff going on. We've got King Grayskull. I'm assuming this is Tila down here. I'm not familiar with all of the Master of the Universe characters. We got, what is this, Barbaric He-Man back here. We got Moss Man, and we got, what's his name, of Eternia there. We got Castle Grayskull. And I know we're getting into these dinosaurs here now. I'm assuming these are coming down the line. And that's when I kind of started losing touch with the He-Man stuff. That was as I was getting older. And then we got Castle Grayskull back here, and I can't tell who's flying on that pterodactyl there. But then over here to the side, we clearly start to see some passage, what looks like basically a comic book strip in a sense of what's going on. And we'll get into that in a minute. I'm not going to read it all for video purposes and longevity here. But you flip it open, and you get this excellent card, and it basically starts the story. And to sum this up, this is basically Cobra Khan that was summoned by Skeletor, sent through a portal, time portal, to go back pre-Eternia to basically fight and rise with King Hiss and basically go after He-Man and all of his warriors and try to take control of Eternia in a nutshell. And along the way, obviously, when he ported to that time frame, he encountered this battle going on between Grayskull and He-Man and all of that between the four towers. So we see a lot of goodness coming. We see a lot of characters in here. We see a lot of releases already, like Snake Mountain. We know Eternia we're getting. We definitely see a whole line of future characters down the line, like Too Bad. And so we already know we're getting King Hiss. He's already shipping and all that. So yeah, I mean, we just got a lot of goodness going on here. Great little story, great artwork. So when you have time, pull it out, read it, and enjoy the story. And then kind of flipping it there on the side, that's what it looks like, open completely. So you can definitely see how the battle is going. It's basically the battle on the back that they brought up to the cart side. Now, I could see if you wanted to open that up and display him in the middle, Camo Khan, but you don't have to. But anyways, for purposes, I wanted to bring that out so y'all can see it. So now let's get into the good stuff. Let's get into the figure himself. So here we have it. Now, I didn't pull him off the little blister here because he is rubber band and I don't want to cut those. So we're just going to kind of hold him here and we're going to go through it. So my Camo Khan here looks really good. He's got this silvery yellowishy paint with the white toes. Obviously, he doesn't have the human hands because Skeletor has kind of like put a spell over him, if you will, and he's given him these claws. We get the extra head here, which is it doesn't have the hooded cobra hood, if you will, and he's got red eyes. He's still got that orange mouth going on, and this time around we get a different color. We get more of a blue majestic Venom piece. We get the Snake Man insignia like it says in the comic strip there. So this is how we're going to be able to identify who the Snake Men are. And then moving into that hood, right, the articulation real quick is all the same. There's really not a lot going on with the character from accessory wise, but the paint schemes are really nice and the way they all blend together, as you can tell, going down the arms and the legs. And they've got this vibrant gold paint on the belt crotch area. Moving up back to the head, here we go. You can see the Cobra Khan's head here with his hood. It is not a detachable. Some folks I'd seen in chats had asked, hey, is it detachable? Can you pull it off? No, that's the point of having the second head if you wanted to switch it over. But the nice thing is the head will also accept that Venom feature. So I think they did a really good job on this sculpt. I really dig him. And just so everybody knows, this is Cobra Khan. To make that clear, people think, oh, is he a different character? No, it is Cobra Khan. He's just been spelled by Skeletor and became Camo Khan. In the back, we get an extra set of different hands, which is pretty cool. We get his orange blaster, and then we get his, like, you know, battling hammer, if you will. And then we got some nice detail, and still we got paint schemes coming on the back. So overall, I think Mattel really nailed it out of the park on this. I'd like to see this much detail go into every character, but we know they can't do that on every single character. We got those new knees in there. A little rough around the edges there if you take a look at them. They're a little rough, but not too bad. Overall, very, very cool characters. So now let's bring in the comparisons. So here is Cobra Khan, and let's see, are they close in paint schemes? And you can clearly tell, no, they're not. Some guys were wondering if the paint schemes were dead on, the undertone, the plastic, different. Cobra Khan is obviously a darker green. He's a lighter green. Camo Khan is. The heads are sculpted a little different for the hood versus the standard head that comes with him, as you can kind of tell. I know this doesn't really do it justice, but it's the same head, different paint scheme. But the hooded head and the head that comes with your regular Cobra Khan are different. They've sculpted out the eyes a little bit different, but you get the gist, you know who it is. And then obviously this Cobra Khan doesn't come with fangs. So they did a really, really good job. And you definitely know this is Cobra Khan and Camo Khan. They're the same figures. So guys, that's it in a nutshell. I really appreciate you turning in today. As always, remember to share, like, subscribe to my channel, do all that YouTube stuff. And as always, I'll see you in Yesterland.